Good morning, people. Day number 35. And already I got new visitors over there. There's a couple of them. There's wild dogs on the island. Well, not wild, but I don't know what you want to call them. Dogs of the streets. So, what you doing, puppy? Okay. Yeah, so I kind of ate too many palm nuts last night. And I finally looked them up and come to find out that, yeah, they can give you some stomach problems. So I did a little purging, and actually I feel wonderful this morning. So I don't know what exactly that was about, but then again, I also had a bunch of other food at the same time. A mixture of the combinations. Anyway, I feel good this morning, but I did wake up at 3:30, and hold on. I did wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Went on another little expedition throughout the city. Came across a couple loaves of bread, a whole bunch of crackers, and guys, do we got to do this morning? I'm trying to record here. Thank you. Yeah, so my stomach is full. Food has been located, and I got enough for today. So I was over there, but problem is the sun only hits in that spot if I'm lucky for like an hour. So then I moved, as of right now, right here. You see, you see how I got the tent folded up? I'll do it again. I don't know if right there, right? That's how easy it is to move it. I literally I undo the stakes, I fold the thing in half with everything in it, and I just walk away. So now, I have to like this spot. Might adjust it a little bit further. Because the thing is, like I said, you don't want your head sleeping at a decline, because then the blood goes to your head while you sleep. Sets the pressure and you start getting headaches. So, let's see if this works. Oh. Feels right. And sure got the selfie stick out for this one. It's a good spot. I'll throw the stakes back in. I might just move it around a little bit because although the view for everything is nice, I really want that sun inside the tent. Warms everything up real quick. Yeah, last night was cold, but then, see, as soon as it hit like 2:33, then the wind died down and started warming up. Got some extra water over there, and finally found a lemon tree. Like I said yesterday, filled up the lemon, or rather sliced up the lemon, threw it in the water, and yeah, so I feel good this morning, but not ready to start the day yet. I might still go back to sleep, just because. All right. I forgot I did a recording this morning. It's like 3 hours later, and you see my solar panel back there charging up my stuff. Oh, and I got a pillow. It made all the difference for sleeping. It's doing good. And I get to wake up next to all these flowers. Now let's do it at the angle I wake up at. Ready? Just flowers in my face. Today, I'm thinking, because I wrote my new friends, try to get an idea of whether we want to do the airship compound tomorrow or the next day. Reason being for him being in the area is he's got a job interview, so obviously that's going to come first, and then see where he goes from there. But the distance that I'm seeing across this harbor isn't too far, and I really want to check out the area where they do the salt mining. And yeah. Oh, one of my buddies had posted on Facebook as to what I was eating because I keep calling it cactus fruit. It's either known as tunis or the prickly pear, but this particular cactus, has migrated all over here to Sicily from basically the regions of Mexico and Southwest America. How it was brought here, I don't know. Somebody put it in the mail and then it escaped. It's growing all over this island, but that fruit is just so amazing to eat. um, yeah, so I've got energy this morning. I ate my provisions, and I'll go out probably for a hunt tonight to see what else I can find. I'm sure along the way I will find some fruit, because I always do. And with that said, today's prayer. Bow our heads. Bow your head. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Amen. Lord Jesus, I claim your blood, the blood of Christ, over myself, my viewers, this channel, all communication between myself and the viewers directly. So nothing is manipulated, nothing is heard in a different orientation that I have prescribed. I claim the blood of Christ over this island, over this harbor, over the people in this naval compound and the surrounding city. I claim the blood of Christ over the viewers' home, their family, their jobs, their travels, their finances, and their future. Heavenly Father, I ask today for the capacity to communicate clearly everything that I wish to communicate through this channel to my viewers. I also ask for the knowledge or the wisdom to do so, because I don't want to lead my followers astray, whether they're following me or not, but the people listening to me ultimately. With all that said, I thank you and I give you the glory and praise. And I ask for an amazing day for myself and everyone else that is watching. Amen. Alright, so, yesterday I went to church and I put the last bit of money in, and the reason I did it so willingly is because a passage kept coming up in my mind and I couldn't remember exactly where it was located or what it was, just the whole thing. So I played Russian roulette with the Bible again twice this morning. The first one was on the Old Testament, which the Old Testament, it's not easy to start with. It's really not. It's a lot about God's wrath. The New Testament and ultimately Acts, if you're going to start with anything or just inquire about the spirituality of this, of what I'm doing, start with the New Testament, start with Acts, and then do the rest of the Bible. You can do Genesis first if you want, but it's going to make a lot more sense if you start with Acts. Now, in Acts, as I got it set aside because I played Russian roulette, and it finally came up. Well, it came up. I didn't have to look for it. And it is... Okay. Luke 26. Let's see. Give me a second, guys. I gotta get this straight. 21. Okay. The widow's offering. As Jesus looked up, he saw the rich putting out their gifts into the temple treasury. He also saw a poor widow put in 2 very small copper coins. Truly I tell you, he said, this poor widow has put in more than all the others. All these people gave their gifts out of their wealth, but she gave out of her poverty. She put in all she had to live on. So what does that mean? Am I that poor widow? No, it just means that I'm putting my trust in God. I'm giving him everything I got. Everything I got. When the collection plate comes out, at the churches across the world, people generally give out of what they can afford or what change you just have in their pocket. Think of, as I'm being told, think of it as a 401k. The more you put in, based upon the amount you have in your life, the more of a return you're going to get. So what I'm saying is, if you got $10,000 to your name, and you give that Lord $1, he's going to give you the return of $1. He's going to definitely increase its profitability. But if you gave the Lord that 10,000, then that number skyrockets. And the returns are going to be so great because you gave him everything you had. You're putting trust into the Lord, and he's going to make you profitable. And the idea isn't exactly about money, it's just a concept. So if you have $1 to your name, that's all you have. That means you're giving him all you have, $1. And he's going to make a return based upon the faith that you put in. I guess that's what I'm trying to say, is that's what I've done. That's what I'm doing. I will consistently do. And every time I walk into one of these churches, I will consistently forget that, oh yeah, there's a plate. So if I walk into one of these churches and I don't have any money on me, well, guess what? I will find something to put inside that plate. If it's going to be my shirt, a sock, just something to put inside the plate, because I got to do it. I don't think they want me stripping down naked and just give me all my clothes, because I'd be giving everything, yes, however, but that's not the right scenario to do that. So I think the Lord will understand. Well, it's a nice day. It's warm, the sun's on my back, it's like just a warm spring type of day. It feels so good. And I still got this cool fort just chilling out behind me. Yeah, I like the spot a lot better. It's definitely hidden more so. And that solar panel will get sun all day long. So, Heavenly Father, what do you got on the agenda for us today? Let's find out. And with that said, I'm going to start moving around, and I'll chime back in when I find something cool. And we are finally off. 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I thought I lost part of my house, which is kind of like, maybe losing a garage if it's attached to your house. It's the same concept in my mind. I lost a tent stake, and these were like really good heavy-duty aluminum tent stakes, right? And so I was kind of depressed this morning when I moved it. I'm like, I can't believe I just lost one of the stakes. and it's green. I'm in a field of green clovers. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll find it. Let me put up a prayer. And I was told to take a rest, and I took a rest, got some more sleep, and I woke up, retraced my steps, and then about 30 seconds later, I found it. I found the green amongst the green. So I was thankful for that. I'm working with about 29% battery power on my phone right now. See if I can locate any extra energy before I go on this excursion. The battery bank and solar panel are back charging in the sunlight over there, so at least when I get back. And it is confirmed tomorrow, my buddy C will come pick me up at the main gate over there. We're gonna go take a look at Broccoli. There's a castle there and a lighthouse. And if we got time, we'll go. He's gonna show me where the World War I site is for the airship, or the manufacturer for them. Just to let me know where it's at, so then I can do my excursion there. So I'm grateful for that. Today, gonna see if I can get over to that salt mining flat, or the salt flats, or I don't know, but they mined salt not too long ago. Well, actually, according to the pictures, it looked like it was at least 100 years ago. And that's where the pink flamingos are supposed to be. I guess if I see any today, I don't know. But what else? I think that's it for now. Alright, I found them. So over here, this pond looking thing, actually back in the day used to be a spot where they'd mine sea salt for sea salt reasons, whatever that might be. But I heard there'd be some pink flamingos in this spot. And unfortunately, I think due to the weather or the coldness, there's no pink flamingos in that water. But still, the scenery is fantastic. Water's pretty calm. And way over there is the fortress. Don't want to whack that guy in the head with the stick. Yeah, so I was kind of looking forward to finding something, but no flamingos. We'll keep walking. So now I'm here, and this thing is in my way. So what I want to get to is that building over there, because I can get a much better shot of the sea salt mining field. Yeah, so I'm gonna get over this fence. Keep in mind, this place has been abandoned for at least 100 years. There's just one of many places. So don't worry, guys. I'm not doing anything illegal. It's just abandoned. But I do want to show you what's inside, and I do want to explore myself because I kind of like abandoned places. All right, I'll see you on the other side. And I am over. A little bit tricky on this one. Starting to acquire a skill of hopping fences, but not thorn bushes. Yeah, look for the path of least resistance on this one, because everything is so overgrown. Did I just trap myself? Wait. Get past this olive tree, which I hope doesn't have any thorns. Not that they have thorns, but it seems like everything on this island has got thorns lately. Yeah. Yeah, looking better over here. Don't want to tear nothing. Okay. Come on, give me a clear path. Alright, thorns, knock it off. Alright, getting better. Gotta wipe my step. Do the prickly stuff. Aha! Okay. Kind of found a pathway. There's stuff hiding in clovers. And I'm through. Huh. Yeah, now we got our front row seat. I'm going to get on the internet after this and find at least the photograph that my buddy had shown me about this place. I mean, it's a place that mines sea salt. Not exactly the most exciting thing in the world, but it is still something to take a look at. Okay, Dawn's. Knock it off. This is one of the first buildings over here. I'm gonna attempt to get in, which looks like it's gonna be that's all thorns. Let's take this path. Oh, yeah. Some holes in the fence over there. Would have been nice if I'd seen them before. Huh. Guess what? Holy Spirit led me in the right direction. The pink flamingos were hiding. Well, they don't look so pink, but they are flamingos. Now, does anybody know why they turn pink? It's because of the coloring in shrimp. And they eat so many of them, they actually turn pink. Chillin' is the name? I don't remember. I found the flamingos. Hold on. Don't want to scare them. The flamingos. Alright, I'm going to turn the camera around, but I have to pause this for a minute. So hold on, guys. I'm going to get you a much better view. Okay, I found the flamingos. That's all the flamingos I'm going to show you because they're not really doing all that much. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear me or not. I don't know why I'm whispering. It's not like I'm going to scare these birds away. Do I want to go any further in? No, I don't want to disturb the habitat. But those are flamingos. I think that's the first time in my life I've actually seen pink flamingos. I'm content with today. Alright, let's move on to the building. Make sure I got everything. They are flamingos, just doing flamingo things, which is eating shrimp and turning pink. Imagine if we did that. Whatever color food we ate, we turn that color. I gotta remember to get a cover shot. Those flamingos. Oh no. Why is there always dogs? Hope it's not a security dog. Okay. Man, they really demolished this place. Of course. Such a common thing. Up here. They stripped everything of the copper. That is big business. Stripping for copper. Dog, just stay away. Oh, wow. Like a green hole. Alright, this is pretty cool. Main entryway, which means clearly there was a parking lot of sorts, I'm sure, somewhere in that grove over there. So where do we start? Let's go this way. Huh. Well, they had an elevator. Sorry, bird. There's a unfortunate bird accident, and it's laying on the ground. Go into the bathroom. That's a pretty convenient way of getting outside. Just knock a hole through the wall. All right, let's go check out some more stuff. Nope. Okay. Okay. You know, I was hoping to come across an extra battery bank. That is what I really need, is just one extra battery bank. So far I got one with me and one's always charging at the station at the same time. Provided the station is still there when I get back. I don't know about you guys, but I do like abandoned places. For two reasons. One, I try to imagine what it was in its operation back in the day. And then, oh, that's an open gate over there. I found the easiest way to get out of here, which is it the main gate's over there, and it's just wide open. Okay. So I don't have to go back that route. So yeah, the other reason is I try to think, okay, if I took over it right now, what could I turn it into? Now, back in my earlier partier days, this, I would have cleaned up a section of it, and I would have turned this into a rave spot for sure. 100%. What do we got in here? But this, because I no longer, so I'm just looking at some possible useful things on the ground, like AAA batteries, because I got my headlamp that requires AAA. Just keeping stock of things I might be able to check out. Hold on. What are you? I'll find that. Sorry for my nose again. It's like as soon as I go to a cool spot, which it's cool in here, my nose just starts going. Can't really say it's allergies because I used to have it as a kid, and apparently I was allergic to like everything on the planet, including grass and trees, anything especially gave pollen. So back in the late 80s and 90s, I constantly, as a kid, every month had to go to the doctor and get a shot in this arm and a shot in this arm. Hated it. Absolutely hated it. It was all for allergies. It kept pumping me full of stuff. Until, I think it went on for like 7 years, until I was like the age of 13. And then, I had a reaction. And it started swelling up. And I couldn't breathe. Like my throat was closing. So I calmly told a parental figure to, told him that I might have to go to the hospital as I can barely talk or breathe. But I stayed as calm as possible so my throat wouldn't close up due to anxiety or the cortisol going to produce more inflammation. And then, they're going to give me some medication at the hospital. Anyway, the point was, the stuff that was supposed to cure my allergies almost killed me. And that was the end of that. So we stopped those shots. I really hated them. And as a kid, you're terrified of needles. Terrified. And every month I had to get 2, sometimes 3. And for what? My allergies disappeared in Iraq though, which was really weird. Due to the extreme conditions out there, the heat. After that, I was no longer, after being submerged into intense desert environments, my allergies just disappeared. No idea why. Well, I guess I also started the workout routines a lot. I was going to the gym like 2 times a day, in the morning and the afternoon. Lost a lot of weight because Iraq is a hot place. And I was eating really healthy. Maybe that was the reason. Stairs do not collapse on me. That is a hole. I'm happy I got to see the flamingos. Yeah, there's a school over there. guess in high school, based upon the ages. Now, well, the almost grown adults that I've seen. Okay, gotta see what this thing is. Yes, I found this. Looks like a cough drop. I'm gonna eat it because I can. Ooh, that is a cough drop and a half. Really potent. Eucalyptus, but it just opened my sinuses like crazy. I'll go back and collect a few more. Yeah, my whole sinus cavity just went. Whew. There is something over there. Man, they really ripped this place out for copper. Now, in places like Denver, people pretty much steal the copper right out of the house that you're living in to help supply the drug habit. Because you can just take that metal and go turn it in, and bam, you got money for your resupply. I've seen it all in Denver, because I was a part of it. Not in a good way. The phrase goes, what is it? Come to Colorado on vacation and leave on probation. Except I got parole. I got past it in flying colors. With flying colors. I got to the halfway house. The average tour there is usually about 6 to 9 months. And I think I was released in like 4.5 or 5. Went by super fast. I did everything that they wanted me to do. It was easy to follow rules because prior to that, I was 12 years in the military. So when they laid out a law or rule not to break, then it was simple. Just follow it. There's so many people I couldn't do it. I watched the rotation of people come in and out of the place like crazy. And one of my good buddies that I got him a job at Old Chicago's, when I was working at Old Chicago's while in the halfway house, worked up to being an assistant manager. I got him a job. I referred him, and he's like a brother to me. He's a really good guy. Really good guy. And he was doing good for like 3 months, and because there's so much influence even in the halfway house that's selling drugs, he started up on heroin, and then he popped hot on one of the piss tests, which means you don't pass go, you don't collect the $200, you go straight back to prison to finish out your term. Well, he didn't want to do that. So I remember I was sitting at the table, I was sitting in the lunchroom, and he was either at the table with me or next to me, I forget. 2 police officers walk in, he sees them, he knows his number is up, and he just takes off running out the back door, across the grass field full of holes from the prairie dogs, stumbles, hurts his foot, keeps limping. The cops attempt to chase for a few seconds, and they're like, we'll just get him another point in time. And that was the last I seen of him. I know he was on the run for a couple months, but I'm sure at some point they would have grabbed him. Yeah, a lot of interesting things happen at the halfway house. A lot of drug dealing. I stayed underneath the radar because I knew what. Oh yeah, I'm gonna tell you this because it's part of the testimony. The drug of choice while I was in the halfway house was LSD. And I could get it through my hippie friend of a girl while I was working at Old Chicago's. Sometimes I'd even take a hit of acid while trying to serve people. Sometimes I'd even let them know I'm on acid while taking their orders. And normally they'd start laughing and be like, "How are you doing this job right now?" And I'd be like, "I have no idea." So yeah, I get a number of tabs of acid. And when I usually didn't have work, then I'd be lying in the bed at the halfway house watching some really trippy stuff across YouTube on the phone, because you're allowed to have our phones. At a certain point, you had to, get approved for it. And then, yeah, I'd just lie there for like 6, 7, 8 hours, just tripping ball. I can't say that word. Just tripping away and loving life. Now I look back and I can say that that is the wrong thing to do, because drugs, however hallucinogenic, okay, sure, they will open your senses. They will open your third eye. They will open your chakras. They will do all that stuff. But it's a ruse, because I'm telling you, because I did a lot of stuff. It will either drag you down to the pit eventually, because these entities can only put on a show for so long when you take these things before finally their gig is up and you start seeing it for what it really is. Everything starts going very dark. In the beginning, it's like, oh man, these colors, everything is so nice. And you start to see, you will see, especially on DMT, you will see entities from what seems like other worlds. Nah, guys, they're demons. They know exactly what they're doing. They've been doing it for a while. I have seen some very, very unique faces show up in front of me, including watching right across from me when me and this girl had taken some stuff, DMT and acid. I watched up top, up here, the third eye, in her shift for about 10 minutes in every type of eye design you can think possible. And her face was always morphing into something different, something either reptilian or something of a gray anatomy, like not a Gray's anatomy, but gray alien type, like, or bluish in color, or black, or like, it was just, the face was constantly morphing. It was just thousands of different faces happening. And, you'd say that, yeah, okay, you're hallucinating, right? You're tripping. Well, what happens when the other person's seeing the exact same thing you're seeing? Or you're in a group of people and you're all confirming the same thing at the same time? Guys, it's not hallucinating, okay? You label these things to make you think you're crazy and it's not really real. No, the problem is, the stuff is real. This stuff is real. But you're opening up the door for such demonic influences to trick you into believing that they're, what's the word, benign entities. I think it's the word. All right, entities that say that they are your friend. They got your best intentions in line. Okay, dog, just give it up. And they're gonna show you all kinds of things. Yeah, they did. I've seen all kinds of things that I cannot explain. I've seen things move across the room that just can't be done normally. Like somebody's pushing it across, like taking a brick. Watching that object just move itself across the room. Okay. And the deeper I got into this stuff, especially the methamphetamine, opened up the dark portals. Now I'm happy Christ is with me all the way. He let me go as deep as I wanted to go before he said, that is enough, I'm pulling you out. And the very last time I did this, okay, was in Prague during my escape out of that city. On my way out, it was about 3 months ago. Yeah, 3 months ago. Place with walls. And Prague has got some abandoned places. As I'm walking out of the city, the devil attempted one last grab at me. And I heard some music as I'm walking down the street, right? There's a rave going on. I hear bum, 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 bum. But it's like a angry music, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna go check it out. So I find a way in, and it's like everybody was expecting me because there was no cover charge. I had no money at this point. There was a little side alley, like something like this. You had to walk through in order to find it. And I get in there, and people are in there, but they're just kind of like standing around. They're like, the music's going. I go to talk to the DJ, and the only thing I got out of him was, or his friends, was this huge sound system that was over here. I mean, it was full of speakers. All I got out of him was, this is his weapon. I'm like, okay. What does that mean? Now, I am recovering after a few days from the methamphetamine. And ladies and gentlemen, I can still see in the spirit, but the bad spirit. And what transpired that night, well, in that particular point in time, about 15 minutes in, someone came to me, just right up to me, speaks English, and is like, here's some mushrooms. And me, I'm like, okay, let's do the mushrooms. This'll be fun. Yeah, it was. I got into the music groove, even though it wasn't my really type of music. It was like a punk rock type thing, but worked out. Now guys, this is part of my testimony. And I will not lie to you, okay, because it defeats this entire purpose. But I'm telling you from my standpoint, what I witnessed, what I experienced, what I went through. Now, getting into it, mushrooms are setting in. I'm feeling the environment. I can start to see the energy and the colors and everything moving around me. I'm starting to understand how people are operating in there. I'm starting to understand the demons that are in them. And as I'm starting to get into the music, doing this number, right, which is ultimately a sign of submission, I hear the words in this song, has no ID, has no money, has no keys, has no passport, has no this and that, talking directly about me. Because prior to showing up at this place, about 1 hour prior, I threw everything into the river. They had made a song, and they started playing it, that was clearly about what I just did. I'm like, okay. And as I'm getting into it, I hear the words twice come across the speakers. We want your soul. In a music format. All in the same song, the rhythm that was going on. Again, we want your soul. Tell you guys, I've been through some crazy stuff. This, on a level of 1 to 10, is sitting at about a 7 or 8 compared to other things I have to deal with. So, I'm like, all right, let me push further. Let me see how this goes. So I casually walk up, just like this, into the middle of the crowd, and they're all doing the same thing. They've got their hands up, and they're throwing their hips forward, like they're engaging in sexual activity, right? The entire crowd. And as I look up at the speaker system, best way I can describe it, okay. On this side, and on this side, I see two shadows of what looks like two dogs, almost like Ghostbusters, when they got the two evil dogs perched on both sides. No joke. I seen the shadows of that, and I started paying attention to. I could see past the veil, and standing about 30 feet tall was the demonic head, the I'm not going to mention the demon's name, but it starts with an M. And it came to me, all the information just went right in here. And then we started having a mental battle of sorts, where I could feel a vibration coming off this entity and bouncing off me, and as I'm pushing back. Okay. So now I'm standing in the middle of this crowd, like so, all right? I'm just in the middle, everybody's around me. And they keep bringing me what looks to be like sacrifices, like I'm supposed to drain their energy, become one of them. And I could feel this, like they were bringing me people that weren't supposed to be there, all right, the sacrifices. And I'd start pulling energy from them, being a vampire, because I wanted to go and see what this was about. Guys, I'm telling you everything. Lord is my witness, this is a testimony. Some crazy stuff. And then I'm like, okay, I understand what's happening here. And this guy, that's, how to do this. So I'm standing here, and this guy's standing like right here. And then he turns to me like this, and I could see the look and the worry in his eyes. He was so unbelievably scared to be there. And I looked at him, and in plain English, I told him to go, leave right now. Because he didn't belong there. And then I started paying attention to the rest of the crowd. The amount of victims that were in there, it was like off the movie Blade, or one of those, that three, where he kind of goes in the club, and they're kind of sucking the life out of these people all over the place. Yeah, it was like that, guys. But in a very spiritual way. A normal person walking in, you wouldn't have really known, but they would have came to you and just drained you. So all of a sudden, I'm like, you know what? I've gone almost far enough. I'm like, I want to go a little bit further. And then, this is where it gets truly interesting. The lights start turning white, okay? Daylight just starts showing up in this very dark place. Across the speakers comes prayers in Latin, fighting against this thing. Some group was praying for this guy, okay? This is what I heard. In Latin, a battle would go back and forth. The lights would start turning white where they used to be of a party nature, rave nature. And it started killing the vibe of the crowd. All the people that were in, okay, just started kind of like dying down with energy. And then finally, I woke up. The mushrooms, the effect of the mushrooms got zapped out of me. And I'm staring still at this entity that's about 30 feet tall. And I just turned my back. And I walked straight out of the place. Just straight out. The club died. The rave died in that instant. The music never came back to its feet. People started leaving because of what just transpired. But nobody was talking about it. Nobody was like amazed that what just happened. That the speaker system, okay, that was just playing this demonic music, setting the trance into everybody. Now keep this in mind, okay? This happens at every concert, almost every single concert, guys. All right. When people died at Scott's, or that last concert where like 7 people got trampled on, okay? That rapper, I forget his name right now. Okay, things are truly happening behind the scenes in those raves. I experienced my own, but they were after me. They wanted my soul. They wanted me to give in, to bow to this dude. Like, who is this dude? How many of you have shown up in my life and I've teared you all down? Why? Because I am covered in the blood of Christ. And he let me go as far as I should in order to understand and see what it is I'm seeing. So for the rest of you out there that are battling things, that are seeing shadows, that are scaring you in your sleep, okay? Yes, you're not crazy. They are real. All right? There are ways to handle it. And you can always come to the ones that have dealt with it, that have won the battle, so to speak. So, if you write me privately and be like, hey, I'm experiencing this, this is what's going on, I'm going to give you the correct direction based upon my experience, the wisdom I've gained, and more importantly, what the Holy Spirit has to say. Okay? So, I'll walk straight out of that club to the opening entrance, and they tried one last attempt to bring me inside by bringing me a fresh bottle of water. Just some random person comes up with a bag, is like, oh, it's unopened. They had to explain so many times, it's not opened. Fresh bottle of water and a freshly orange juice. Now, anybody that's in the tripping world knows that orange juice, the vitamin C, or the acid that's in it, will skyrocket the mushroom effect. They wanted me to be put back into that trip, to then go back into the rave to start the music all over again. This is the one time I'm going to say it was all about me, people. Because it truly was. It truly was. The words to the song that explained everything I just did on Charles Bridge 1 hour ago. Everything. Charles Bridge, Prague, okay? For those of you that need to clue in on this. I threw my entire life, my entire identity over the bridge. I didn't want to be a part of what transpired just prior to that, which was the rejection I gave to the devil. I sat down to dinner with the devil. And I rejected the offer because he knew, I didn't know at the time, where my direction in life was going. And that is to get out my testimony and put together all the pieces of the puzzle of all the deliverances I accidentally have fallen into and have done, the information that would come to me on the spot on how to do them. I am a threat to his kingdom. And he knew that very soon I'd be picking up the path or giving my life to God. So they threw everything at me, including the kitchen sink. Guys, again, this is my testimony. I will never lie to you. If you ask me a question, I will tell you straight out. Because I have been all over this planet. I have done pretty much everything that a person can do to be marked and to be brought down south. And yet, God above has had my back the entire time. Because he's like, I'm going to let you go into these scenarios. I'm going to give you the tools to get yourself out. But there's only going to be a certain amount of times I'm going to let this happen before you're going to start paying attention to me. Now I'm paying attention to him. Because none of this was on my own power. All comes through him. So thanks for listening to this story. This was, again, not scripted, not planned. Right time, right place, with the Flamingos in this very unique building. So I'm going to collect some of those eucalyptus mints because they just opened me right up. Yeah. It's only about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We'll see if anything else shows up. But thank you guys for listening to testimony. Please share this with anybody that you might think is crazy, has been called schizophrenic, is currently tripping on something, or just wants to know what the darkest side of the house looks like in a responsible way. To each his own on how they experience life. But I never wish upon anybody the things that I've seen. Because without God's hand behind you to hold you, to support you, your mind will crack. And then that's it. I have figured it out. What this building was. This was a school at some point. And it makes a lot more sense now. So they must have shut this place down maybe 30 years ago, based upon the foliage, I'm guessing. Yeah, this was a school, for sure. It started making sense with the rooms all being the same size, and then the bathrooms put at specific spots. Those were classrooms. All right, now to find a way out. Well, I think I found something else to eat. I seen it on the internet. So the cactus itself, okay. I was like, you know what? Let me just check it out, because I keep hearing some things about the actual plant being edible. So I broke one off, right? Off one of the leaves off, and then I snapped it in half, and I was like, huh, you know, inside of it kind of looks like a cucumber. All right, we'll go with that. Then I made a little cut. There's a lot of moisture inside. So it looked like this. Okay, now we can see, all right? And then I made a slice, because I don't know if I want to eat the skin or not. Now, it kind of looks like the green part of a watermelon, right? Kind of has that taste too. But it's edible. All right. I'm just finding anything. You know me, guys, at this point. If I think it's food, I'm going to try it. I pray that even if I do accidentally poison myself, that I am protected. That's kind of how I feel. Because my entire life, I feel like I've always been poisoned. But now, if I do it to myself, it's a different story. But this is food. So thank you to that Facebook lady that I seen this from. Because she's in the southern part of the Baja Peninsula. And she was doing a little expose on this exact cactus fruit that my friend had posted and shared. And then I seen it, I'm like, oh, I know that fruit. And then she started going down the list of things that this thing's useful for. So, yeah. Thank you to my buddy, and thank you to that lady that put out the information. Okay, so this cactus, I just showed you guys that I ate a piece. So I actually really like this. I'm going to call this, I know it's known as tunis. I keep wanting to say tuna. I'm going to call this the Mexican cucumber, because it kind of tastes a mix of between a cucumber and the green part of a watermelon, except it's a cactus. And when I think of cactuses, I think of Mexico. So it has now become the Mexican cucumber. But guys, this is edible, and it actually tastes fantastic. And there is endless amounts of this plant on this, well, everywhere. Not just on this tiny island, but on all of Sicily. So, I found yet another food source. Thank you. Thank you for the Mexican cucumber. I'm in high hopes because now I've got, like I said, a confirmed food source that is everywhere on this island, right? Cactus. I get to eat cactus. Never thought this would happen in my life. And then on top of that, to go with my dinner, my salad, cactus salad, I've got a thing of white wine. It's a come up. Thank you. I don't know what's in that cactus or the Mexican cucumber, but I am loaded with energy. Might have had a little bit of the wine, the box wine. Temperature's dropping though. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. What is in that? What is in that cucumber? This is unusual. I feel fantastic. Okay, so my phone cut out while I was trying to do that last clip there, but I wanted to show you guys where I put my solar panel. It was on top of the main gate entrance, the stone archway for the entryway onto the island. So everybody was kind of wondering why I was on top of the arch, but I wanted to get the last bit of the last bit of rays into the solar panel in order to charge the phone and get this uploaded. So, yeah, cactus fruit is a success for sure. I feel energized, which is like I had a monster or something. There's no caffeine in it. I just feel good. My mind feels clear. Yeah, so the temperature is dropping. I'm gonna call it a night here, and this is my surroundings. One more time. I had to wake up next to flowers. Tomorrow afternoon, I'll get to meet my buddy, and we're gonna go on a little excursion. So, again, to my subscribers, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening to the things I have to say, and stay tuned for whatever happens tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.